In this video, we're going to talk about teaching your teenagers to follow their gut instinct. A little background about me. I'm Coach Red. I am a certified life coach. I'm also a divorced and remarried parent of 2 daughters. And one of the things that really came out of my divorce from their father was that I realized I never really followed my gut. I never really followed that instinct inside of me that said, don't marry an alcoholic, or don't go there, or don't do that. Like, I just never followed it. I really became a follower, even though in my childhood I wasn't a follower. I was a self-starter, and I was very vocal about who I was. And somehow I lost that, and I just ended up in a marriage that didn't work, and my marriage failed. And from there, I learned about following my gut, following my instinct. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing that information with you. How do we teach our children to follow their gut instincts? You have to teach them not only to think things through in their head and the pros and cons, but also to follow their feelings about it. Also to teach them and to help them to see red flags when they exist in a relationship. What does all of this mean? What are the signs of a gut feeling? Tension in your throat, or tension in your body somewhere, goosebumps or prickling at the back of your neck, stomach butterflies and nausea, a sinking sensation in the pit of your stomach, sweaty palms or feet, or thoughts that keep returning to a specific person or situation. Because realize that your gut instinct is not only about bad things, it's also about good things, a business idea, a decision of where to live, what college to go to, a friend to include in your life. Those are all positive things, and the negative things are to stay away from that person or that place, not to do that thing, not to go somewhere at a certain time. So noticing all of those physical experiences in your body is the first step to really following your gut instinct or your first instinct. With regards to something a little bit more positive, follow your interests. If you can't get that thought out of your head, or if your child can't get that thought out of their head, then follow it. It has merit. Immerse yourself in your idea and allow the idea to change as it flows through your body and through your mind. Pay attention to your first thought on the topic. If you want to really know what your instinct is telling you, don't think about it. Just boom, what was your first thought? Follow that and see what happens. If something feels off, believe that it is off and don't follow that. So an example would be sleeping at a friend's house. Is there a man there that makes you feel a little bit creepy? But you don't really have any details. You don't know why. You don't have to sleep over at that friend's house just because they ask. You can set boundaries. You can spend time at that friend's house and leave after an hour. You don't even have to make an excuse. You can just say, I can come for an hour to your sleepover, your friend, your party, whatever it is that they're doing. Did your friend just confide in you that they broke into a car last night or stole from a store? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? You don't have to hang out with that friend. You can also tell that friend that you don't want to hear about things like that because you don't want to be implicated in it. So if you still want to stay friends with that person, but you don't want to know about any of those activities, then tell them, or don't. You can limit the amount of time you spend with that friend. You can spend time with that friend at school only. It doesn't have to be a whole big discussion and a big drama. Keep your thoughts and ideas to yourself, but you don't want to participate in that, and you don't want to be implicated in anything that your friend is doing, so you don't want to hang out with them at a time that they might be doing those things for that very reason. You don't have to do something you're uncomfortable with just because your friend suggested it. That's really important to teach your children. And it's important for you too as an adult. Sometimes we can get roped into something we don't really want to do. But if you set the boundary and you don't do that, you're teaching your children how to do that too. Teach your children, if they're not ready to be physical, if they're not ready for sex or any physical activity with a date, that they can say no. And if that date treats them badly because of it, that you will pick them up. And they don't have to worry about not knowing how to get home. And if you can't pick them up, that you will send someone safe to pick them up. If you're always a safe place for them to land, then they can set those boundaries because they're not worried about how they're going to get home or how they're going to get out of the situation, because they know they can always call you and say, whoa, somebody wanted me to do something I'm not comfortable with. Can you please pick me up? Sure. Don't keep secrets from adults. Teach your children not to keep secrets from adults. So in doing that, you are not going to punish your kid for everything that they do. That's part of it. So if you teach your child to talk to you and discuss things with you and not have secrets from you, that if they are in a situation that they need to get out of, that they can call you and you will help them without punishment, then they will continue to tell you what's going on in their lives, and they won't do things that they can't tell you about, that are so big that they can't tell you about. Don't go anywhere with your friends if you think or feel something is up that is not so great, whatever that might be. If you're not feeling good, don't go into the woods with your friends. If you're not feeling good, don't go to the mall with your friends. Here's an example. Is an ex-boyfriend called you and wants to meet you in an isolated area, or they want you to sneak out in the middle of the night in order to meet them. Think about that. Why? Why would they specifically say they want you to sneak out and sneak away without anybody knowing, and it's an ex-boyfriend? You can tell them, no, I'll meet you in the middle of the mall, because it's a public area. If they have something to say to you, they can say it to you there. And I know that that's really hard, because let's say it's an ex that you really like and you would like to get back together with them. Well, if they really want to talk to you about getting back together with them, you could do that in a food court of a mall just as well as in an isolated forest in the middle of the night. So keep that in mind. There's too many crazy things going on these days with people getting hurt, mass people getting hurt, children getting hurt, and it can be prevented if we follow our gut. So don't get yourself into situations that you can't get out of by not only thinking them through, but also following what your instinct is telling you. Nothing good happens between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. You don't need to sneak out at that time. It's not necessary. If you want to be with your friends in the middle of the night, be safe in a home environment where there's security. I mean safety and security in your home. So remember, the most important part to teach your children about following their instinct and following their gut is noticing the signs in their body, noticing the tension or tightness in their body, the goosebumps or the prickling behind the neck, a sinking sensation in the stomach, butterflies, nausea, sweaty palms and feet, or on a good note, thoughts of an idea that won't get out of your head. Follow these things and you are on your way to teaching your kids how to follow their instincts and trust their gut. Thank you for watching. You can always check me out at CoachRed1.com for lots of blog posts and videos and other important information that you can use as a parent or in life. Please subscribe and click the notification button so that you never miss a video from Coach Red.